Happy Monday and happy Labor Day if you're in the US. There's some Elder Scrolls 6 news, we know how long it takes to walk through Moria in the new Lord of the Rings game, and a troll causes major heartbreak for a World of Warcraft guild. Let's go. Presented by Pringles. Way back in the pre-pandemic era, E3 2018 to be exact, Bethesda teased the next installment of the Elder Scrolls franchise. The Elder Scrolls 6 was announced via a simple trailer that showcased, well, not a whole lot. But it was enough for fans to start speculating on where and when the game will take place. 5 years after that teaser, we finally got some kind of official news from Bethesda. And no, sorry, it's not a new trailer or confirmation on the game's setting or anything related to the story. Via Spanish-language gaming site Vandal and translated by Reset Era user Shoot, Bethesda's Pete Hines was asked about the Elder Scrolls 6 and if fans will hear more about it after Starfield's launch. Hines said, quote, "We have put all of our studio's focus on making this game the best it can be. And yes, there are people working on the Elder Scrolls 6, but this is what the studio has focused on. So no, you are not going to hear soon about the Elder Scrolls 6. Starfield is our focus for now, and it's going to remain our priority for a while before we talk about anything else," end quote. He also confirmed that the game is out of the pre-production phase, saying, quote, "It's in development, but it's in early development." So that's great news, I guess. Bethesda's got people working on it, which is better than nothing, and it makes sense that Starfield is the company's focus, considering the massive amount of press and marketing the game's been getting. Also, Bethesda's track record of published games since the Microsoft acquisition has been a little rocky. The Xbox exclusive Redfall was a dud upon launch, but they scored some hits with the well-received multi-platform games like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. There's a lot riding on Starfield's success, and possibly more riding on the Elder Scrolls 6, considering it'll be the follow-up to one of the best-selling games of all time, Skyrim. So maybe take your time with this one, Bethesda. In other fantasy game news, we now know how long it'll take to venture from one side of the mines of Moria to the other. You know, in case you were wondering, you'll be able to do so in the upcoming The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, which was announced earlier this year. Speaking with IGN at this year's Gamescom show, Free Range Games' Jean-Paul Dumont said that internal testing for the game had timed a fellowship run at over 2 hours in real time. Of course, it's not as simple as walking from the doors of Durin in the west to the Dimril Gate in the east. The game itself has a hybrid of crafting and survival mechanics, with some procedurally generated environments thrown in for good measure. You also have to contend with orcs, goblins, and a mysterious force that's physically blocking your progress. However, once you've opened the way between the 2 points, the game becomes a sandbox, and if you want to, you can retrace the path of the Fellowship made famous in that epic part from the first movie, where they basically run from Balin's tomb to Dimril Gate. There's goblins swarming all over them, and the Balrog known as Durin's Bane starts chasing them, and there's that epic standoff between the Balrog and Gandalf. Yeah, you know that part. It's so cool. Anyway, you'll be able to try your own Fellowship run when Return to Moria releases next year. And for our final story, a World of Warcraft guild suffered a betrayal of the highest degree while attempting the game's final raid. Reset Era user Nijaboy hosted a YouTube video from user Calamity, who was part of a guild playing WoW in hardcore mode, which features permadeath. If you die in hardcore, your character is gone, totally deleted. According to Nijaboy, the guild would have likely had to grind levels in WoW for about a year in order to take on the final boss raid, which features the 4 horsemen. When they started the run, it was guild member Tiny Violin's job to taunt one of the horsemen away from the main group while they ganged up on another. Tiny Violin ends up taunting the horsemen into the group, and they suffer a series of enemy debuffs and attacks that very quickly wipe out half of the group. In the end, 36 members of the guild were killed. Again, this is hardcore mode, so those characters are gone forever. It's unclear how long Tiny Violin had been playing with this guild, but either way, it would have taken the guild as a whole a long time to be at the right levels to take on this raid. I guess this is a lesson for all of us. Trust no one. And those are your stories for today, Monday, September 4th. How excited are you for the Elder Scrolls 6? And what was your favorite mod for Skyrim? Don't be gross. If you're looking for something else to watch, check out this month's IGN First featuring Lords of the Fallen, or our preview for Sonic Superstars. I'm Alan, and we'll catch you on the next Daily Fix.